Hello students, welcome back to Fun Scholar Academy. In the previous lecture, we have known about various parts of flower, their name, structure, etc., types of flower, everything. So today we are focusing on the chapter that what is pollination. So you know what are pollen grains? Just let me remind you once. So this is the male reproductive part. What is the other name of male reproductive part? It is known as stamen. How did I ask you to remember? From male, you will remember stamen, that is main is male reproductive part. So this male reproductive part has two basic structure. This bilobed solen structure is known as anther, and this thin pipe-like structure is known as filament. So this anther, what is its function? It produces yellow color, small microscopic structure which is known as pollen grains. Right? So these pollen grains are being carried away by, like you can see in this picture, these pollen grains are being carried while this insect comes and sits in this flower. Now the question is, why the insect comes and sits in this flower? Because this flower produces a sticky liquid substance which is known as nectar, and nectar is fed by honeybees or many other insects like ant, wasp, etc. Okay, so they come to the flower, they are attracted by the flower by their vibrant color, and they come here, they sit here, they suck the nectar from the flower. While doing this, what happens? The pollen grains stick to the legs and other body parts of that insect. Now, what happens? After it has sucked the nectar from here, it will fly away to another flower. Suppose let us consider this is the male flower. This is the male flower. Okay. Now it will go to a female flower which will contain this flux-like structure which is known as what? Carpel or pistil. Right? So you know this upper part is sticky in nature. So the pollen grains will get stuck in that sticky part. Why? Because it is glue in nature. Suppose in a paper, you put some glue and you put some mica over there, and you just after some time you just take the paper. You will see that the micas are stuck to the part of the fevicol part only, and from the other part the mica will fall down. Similarly, because it is sticky, so while via insect or via wind or via any other agent, the pollen grains come and stick to this, where stick to the stigma of female reproductive part which is known as carpel or pistil. So this process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to to where? To the female reproductive part or carpel and pistil. Where in carpel and pistil? In the stigma part. This whole process is known as pollination. Now just read. The process of transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the, where did it go? Stigma of the same flower or another flower by various agents is called what? Nothing but pollination. Understood? Clear? So, pollen grains, the process of transfer of pollen grains, why it is written here same flower? Because the flower over here is bisexual. Bisexual. And different flower, then the flower is monosexual. What did I say about bisexual and monosexual in my previous lecture? Mono means one, that means either male or female flower, right? And bisexual means, bi means two, so both male and female are present in the same flower. That is why the flowers are maybe same or different. Understood? I hope you have understood. Now next. Next comes types of pollination. In the previous slide only you have seen that pollination may take place in the same flower or two different flowers, right? So on the basis of this, pollination has been classified into two types. First is self-pollination, second one is cross-pollination. So let us see what is self and what is cross. Okay? Now, first comes the self-pollination. Self-pollination always will occur in the same flower. Point number one, same flower. Self means what? I. Okay? Why in the same flower? The answer I think you have known by now. Why? Because the flower is over here will be bisexual. And what is the meaning of bisexual? That both male and female part is present in the same plant. See, pollen grains, this is the pollen grain which is being created by the anther, and it goes and sticks to the stigma of the same flower. So this process is known as self-pollination. In this type, the pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of either the same flower or the other flower of the same plant. Okay, the plant has to be same. Plant or flower has to be same. Okay? It generally does not require any external agent. Self-pollination is commonly seen in mango, hibiscus plant. What is the other name of hibiscus? Common name is China rose or Jaba fool. Okay? Understood? Okay. So, self-pollination is done. Now, cross. Cross means obviously this. Cross means this sign. So, cross means obviously between, see, two other flowers. Two other flowers. See, pollen grains are being produced by the anther of this flower and are being carried by a bee, which is known as pollinator or agent. and the pollen grains are being deposited to the stigma of flower number 2. If this is flower number 1, this is flower number 2. So this process is known as cross pollination. In this type, the pollen grains are transferred from the anther of a flower of one plant. Here the plant is also different. Okay, here the plant is also different. From one plant to the stigma of the flower of another plant of same kind. What do you mean by same kind? The pollen grains of mango tree can't be can't be deposited to the flower of pea plant. Pea plant. What does that mean, ma'am? That means that in mango tree, the pollen grains are produced. They cannot be deposited. If this pollinator comes and takes this pollen grain and then it deposits in the pea plant, then pollination will not take place. The plant has to be of same kind. Mango to mango, apple to apple, banana to banana, then what? Rose to rose, lily to lily. That is the thing. It cannot happen that the pollen grains of the tomato plant will be taken to the pollen grains of hibiscus plant. That is not pollination. That cannot take place. So now you understood what does the word same kind mean? I hope you have. Cross-pollination is seen in flowers of rose, coriander, drumstick plants, etc. Okay, best example of cross-pollination is rose. Now, next. Now it's video time. Okay, just see, this is a simulation of a flower showing self-pollination and cross-pollination. Just see, it has been marked like this. So what does that mean? Pollen from anther is being deposited where? To the stigma of right? And in cross, what is happening? Again, pollen grains are transferred to here. The flower is same flower, and here the flower is different. Flower is different, but look, both this flower are similar to each other. So it is same kind. The flower or the plant has to be same kind. This is self-pollination and this is what? Cross-pollination. Done? I hope things are getting easier now for you. Now let's watch the video for once.
We concluded the previous lesson with an introduction about pollination. It's simply the process in which pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma of the same flower or, for that matter, stigma of any other flower. So do you think that the definition is trying to give us a hint that pollination is of different types? Yes, that's correct. The fact that pollination can occur in the same flower or can involve two different flowers of the same or different plants gets us to the types of pollination. Let us understand the types using an example. Let's take a single plant which has these beautiful flowers. Now imagine one case where the pollen grains from this flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower. The second case is when the pollen grains from this flower are transferred to the stigma of another flower, say this flower belonging to the same plant. This time, where the pollination occurs in the same flower or between different flowers of the same plant, is called as self-pollination. It is the type that involves a single flower or the flowers of the same plant. Now imagine the transfer of pollen grains occurring between this flower and another flower found on a different plant. This pollination is called as cross-pollination. This means where the pollen grains travel from the anther to the stigma of a flower present on a different plant. So we have self-pollination, it involves a single flower or different flowers of the same plant. And we also have cross-pollination that involves two flowers present on different plants. Now tell me one thing, we are saying that pollination is the transfer of pollen grains. But who brings about the transfer? I mean, who will carry out the translocation of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same or different flowers? There are special agents that carry out the transfer. These are called as pollinating agents. Non-living factors like wind or water carry out pollination in many cases. These are called as the abiotic agents of pollination. Similarly, living organisms like honeybees, butterflies, birds, or others that feed on flower nectar are also responsible for pollination. Such agents are included in the category of biotic agents of pollination. Now that we've learned about the typical structure of a flower as well as the process of pollination, let's find out what happens after pollination is successfully carried out. Next, let's look at the process of fertilization in detail.
So that we will learn in separate chapter. Again, the agents of pollination I will teach you in a separate topic. Okay, for now we have just known what is pollination, how many types of pollination are there, and how pollination takes place between two flowers. Agents I will teach you in next lesson. Okay, now, okay, you don't need to, okay. Okay, you have this agent in here only. So let's begin. Let's begin. Who are the agents? You might have heard about the term agent. Haven't you heard the term insurance agent? So what is this agent? This agent is the middle person who is working between two other people. Okay, in doing some task. Okay, that is called agent. So agent of pollination or pollinator, what does that means you know that plants can't move just like us. Have you ever seen a plant walking or running in the road? Have you ever? I think no, you have never seen. A plant cannot move from one place to another place. Though it's a living organism, but it is fixed at a particular place. So, we have seen that flowers are of two types, male flower, female flower. So, how will the pollen grains go to the female part of the flower? They cannot move by themselves, so they have to take the help of some other organism. That other organism who helps in the process of pollination are known as agents, or another name is pollinators. Now just look at this picture. Pollination agent. Who are the pollinators? So there is one abiotic, one is biotic. Now what do you mean by the term biotic and abiotic, man? Abiotic means non-living. You please note this point. Abiotic always means non-living. And biotic, you just remember biology. Biology means study of living beings. Okay. So biotic means the living things. Okay. So biotic means living things. Understood? Now, what can be the abiotic or non-living things? See, wind is non-living. Okay? When the wind blows, the pollen grains are being carried from one plant to another. Water. Water is another. Through water, the pollen grains are carried from one plant to another. Now, living beings, obviously, it has to be birds, it has to be insects, even bats do feed on nectar because all bats are not carnivorous. There are some bats who are herbivorous too. So they feed on the nectar of the flowers. So while taking that, how the birds and insects do take the pollen grains, the birds, bats also transfer the pollen grains. Okay, now let's read. In cross pollination, pollen grains can't be carried from one flower to another by a number of agents such as wind, water, insects, and birds. This, sorry, can be carried. In cross pollination, pollen grains can be carried from one flower to another by a number of agents such as wind, water, insects, and birds. These are called agents of pollination or pollinators. Insects such as honeybees, butterflies are the most important agents of pollination. You will always find these insects like honeybee, butterflies in the area of flowers where it is very full of fragrance, very bright in color, and the flower contains nectar. Okay, so these are the things who help in the process of pollinators, and they are called agents or pollinators. Okay, I hope you have got what I was telling you. Now, pollination by insects. This I have already told you that flowers are so bright in color because the birds or the insects or even we human beings are attracted to it. So let's read. Many insects such as bees and butterflies help in the pollination of flower. The brightly colorful petals and sweet scent of the flower play an important role in attracting the insect. The flowers also produce a sweet liquid called nectar. Flower also produce a sweet liquid called nectar. I have already told you. They attract. Why? And why do they come? Just for the color? No, because of the sweet fragrance, and they are filled with a sweet liquid that is known as nectar. So this is a mutual benefit between the insect and the flower. They are in a mutual relationship. Now, what is mutual relationship, ma'am? Suppose you have friends in your school. So, what do? You share tiffin among yourself. You have your best friend. Someday you bring chapati, he brings bed, bread toast. Someday you bring sandwich, he brings biryani. So you both exchange and eat. So you both love to share things because you like each other's thing. That is known as mutual relationship. Okay, done? Just look at this picture. What is happening? The anther is the male part from where pollen grains are being created. the pollen grains from anther sticks to the pollinator. Who is the pollinator? Honeybee here. Okay. So the honeybee carries the pollen grains. See, the pollen grains are stick to the legs and other parts of the body. When they sit in the female part, see the pollen grains are being deposited in the stigma of another flower. So this is how process of pollination takes place. Process of pollination. Okay, when an insect sits on a flower for sucking nectar, the sticky pollen grains from the anther stick to its body, right? When the same insect sits on another flower of the same kind, it drops the pollen grains to the stigma of that flower. And this is how pollination is carried out. By now, you have learned the complete process of pollination. Now, this chapter is over. So, it's quiz time now. Please pause the video. Take 2 seconds. Try to answer in your own. Then see the answer. Okay? Now, first question. Here it comes. Which part of the flower protects it in the bud stage? Is it petal? No. They attract pollinators. Is it stamen? It is the male reproductive part. Is it pistil? It is the female reproductive part. So what is left? Sepal, which is also known as calyx, and it protects the other parts during bud stage. Right? Remember? I hope the thing is clear to you. The male reproductive part of a flower is called is it ovary? No, it is the female. Is it pistil? Again, it is the female. Is it style? No, it is again female. So, what is left? Stamen, which is the male reproductive part. Right? Easy? Okay. Next. Which one of the following is not a part of pistil? So, this is the structure of a pistil, right? This is stigma, and females, they do style. So, this elongated part is style, and this solen flux-like structure is ovary, where egg cells are present, right? So, style is present, ovary is present, stigma is present. So, which is not a part? Anther, because it belongs to the male part of the flower, right? Okay. What term is used for a flower that contains only male or female reproductive part? Only male or female reproductive part. So, is it asexual? No. It is multisexual? No. Is it monosexual? Yes. And bisexual means both male and female. So what will be the answer? The answer will be monosexual, right? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same flower is called cross pollination? No, because it happens between two different flowers of same kind. Fertilization? No. Germination? Obviously no. Then what is left? Self-pollination. Understood? Okay. Next. Which of the following is an agent of pollination? Have you ever seen a dog? No. Have you ever seen cat? No. Have you ever seen horse? No. Then who is left? Bee is the agent, right? I have shown you in the picture also. So understood? Clear? Very good. Just practice more and more. The more you practice, the more things are clear to you. In cross pollination, pollen grains are transferred between. Cross means what? Like this. So from here to here, from here to here. So same flower? No. Same plant? No. None of this? No. Different flowers of different plants? Yes. No. Different flowers of different plants? No, this won't be the answer. Same flower? No. Same plant? No. The answer is none of this. The answer is none of this. Okay, the answer is none of this. What will be the answer then? Same or different flower of same kind. Understood? Okay. The attractive part of the flower which lures insect. Lures insect means make them come towards itself. Itself, who is this itself? Itself is the flower. Okay? Please write the meaning because that is a new terminology to you. So attractive part of the flower is what? Ovary? No. Sepal? No. Stigma? No. What is the answer? Petal. Understood? Okay. Which one of these flowers can self-pollinate? Is it rose? No. And the question is a bit wrong over here. The question will be which of these flowers can cross-pollinate? Papaya? No. Cucumber? No. Watermelon? No. Then who can cross-pollinate? Rose. Just before some time, I have already told you that rose is the best example of cross-pollination. So it is a misprint over here. So make this correction. Okay, clear? Nectar is produced by a flowers to produce seeds. No. Grow bigger leaves? No. Kill pests? No. Then what is the function? To attract insects. and also feed them, and also feed them for transfer of pollen grains, and also feed them for transfer of pollen grains, right? So this is for it. So the chapter of pollination is complete. So please do watch the video carefully, and if you have any query, please do contact me via message. Okay, and till the next chapter, keep learning, keep growing, and keep shining.